Hey guys, it's Rush. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the channel. This video today, we're going to look at parry in Street Fighter 6. Parry in Street Fighter 6 is very different to parry in other games. It's almost like, imagine Mortal Kombat. If you've ever played Mortal Kombat has a dedicated block button. That's what parry is kind of like. You can see here, I just hold parry. It does drain your drive meter, but I can just hold parry. And in this state, I can just continuously essentially block normal attacks. You'll just anything that the opponent throws at me, I'll just block and block and block it in like a parry style animation. I'll show you this now. If I get Ryu to do something, if I just hold parry, look at this. I'm just holding parry. He cannot hit me. And what's interesting is, look at my drive bar now. Every time I parry an attack, my drive bar goes up. So whilst it drains, whilst I hold it, every successful parry refills it. Wild, right? So you can essentially just sit there and hold it, and take no damage, and your bar will be fine. So you may ask, what's the disadvantage of using this? Well, the disadvantage is that when you use parry, when you let go of it, you're in a punishable state, but you're only punishable to throws. Throws are the only things that can punish perfect parry. But whilst you're in a perfect parry, you can be thrown, and when you release it, you are, I think, punishable for 29 frames, where you can still be thrown for it'll actually be a punish counter throw, which does more damage and will drain your drive bar for the punish counter throw. So there is a risk to it. Of course, there's a risk to it, because if there wasn't, that would be OP. So people can't just hold it. You can throw them, but very weird, right? It's very strange the way parry works in this game compared to other games. So you may see people just holding parry or just dabbing parry in the game here and there, but that's the reason why, because it's kind of like a way of blocking as well, which is powerful against strikes, but it's weak to throws. So with that explained, so how does parry work then? So what happens when you parry? So if the opponent presses a button, I press parry. Look at the frame advantage there. This is the important thing. A normal parry doesn't change the frame data, from what I understand, of the move. So I believe, let's try it again. So yeah, reuse jab. Stand jab is +1 on block. So the parry, it was +1 again. So the frame data doesn't change. The only difference is, rather than losing drive bar because I'm blocking, so my drive bar's gone down, do you see it? You can circumvent this by holding parry. So that's the difference. If you block in this game, you lose drive meter. If you parry in this game, you gain drive meter. But there's a risk involved, higher risk involved with doing parry, because you can be thrown and you get punished counter thrown. So yeah, if you get a normal parry, it's the same frame data. But if you get perfect parry, you are granted extra frames of advantage, which gives you a free punish counter for your troubles. You see that? So when you perfect parry a strike, you get that big blue on the screen and the game freezes. Look at the frame data. 8 frames I've got there. With those 8 frames, I can do a move that fits within those 8 frame windows, and it's a guaranteed punish. You get a punish counter in that scenario. But that's the advantage you get. That's the reward you get for getting a perfect parry against a strike attack. So you can see there, after I got perfect parry, I did stand medium punch, heavy punch into whatever special. But notice how it said punish counter. That's because the stand medium punch was done within those 8 frames, and within those 8 frames, I'm granted the free punish counter. So you can see there, yeah, punish. That's how you know you've done it right. If you see punish counter after perfect parry against a strike, you know it's worked correctly. Parry against projectiles, that's a normal parry against projectiles. Nothing special there. It's the same as it does against strikes. But you notice that one there, but in particular, that one I did very, very late, and there was more of like a blue emphasis around Ken when the parry happened. That was the perfect parry. What you want to do is behind every projectile parry you do, you want to option select something behind it. So you can either do a move. I recommend with Ken, you do parry into stand heavy kick. The stand heavy kick will come out after the perfect parry, and if you're close enough, it will punish counter them. If you're at range though, you want to do parry into forward, and what will happen is on the perfect parry, the forward initiates the drive rush to come out. So you see that? That was very close range, but you can see all I did was I just did parry into stand heavy kick. Look at the inputs on the left now. If I do that now raw, you can see no heavy kick comes out. Heavy kick only comes out after perfect parry against projectiles. And that's what it looks like when you do the drive rush. So there I did parry, and I held parry forward. That's the OS. Perfect parry came out, and then you go for a sequence after it. So I went for a quick button there. I went for crouch jab, and that links into chin buster, and then I did the follow up. So that's the thing I found with this. If you do perfect parry a projectile and you're going to drive rush, you have to go for something that's quite quick to ensure that from the moment you've perfect parried to you them getting into the opponent, close up to them, you need a button that's very quick. If you try and go something greedy and press like stand heavy punch, yes, you will get drive rush stand heavy punch, but it won't connect in time to get punish counter. It'll just hit normally. So you do want to go for a quick button to guarantee the punish. So that's it guys for this video. So just a brief but detailed overview on how the parry works, and specifically what triggers perfect parry and how that is used within your gameplay. The OS against projectiles is very important. Even if you don't get perfect parry into what you want, you should be OSing behind every projectile parry in case you get the free punish counter. So be very conscious of that, and practice it and add that to your game. But you can see perfect parry, whilst I didn't mention this, damage is scaled. I think the damage is scaled by 50%. It's very powerful, and if you use perfect parry for the punish counter and then you cancel into CA CA level 3, level 2, level 1, that's capped at 50%. It'll never be less than 50%. So if you combine perfect parry with supers, it can do quite good damage considering, because of the fact that it won't scale below 50%. So it's worth noting that. But yeah, that's it for another Street Fighter 6 video. Hopefully that's been informative and helpful. Any questions or queries, as always, give me a shout. Catch you in the next one. Take care.